Hello, hello, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today I'm going to show you a recipe for Four Thieves vinegar. And we're going to have a little chit chat about narcissism and spells. So let's get into it. I was inspired because I like to give credit where credit is due by this book here, Green Witchcraft Grimoire. I did a witchy review, which is why I'm taking a point to actually showing you their recipe that they have for it. So I actually really like what they had in here for the recipe, and I've embellished a little bit more because, well, we're witches. That's what we do, right? So this is definitely, if you're, interested in the recipe, you can just kind of take note or take a quick screenshot, pause. This is the basis that I'm working with, but I'm adding some additional things, and you'll see that in just a moment. But yeah, here you go. Four Thieves vinegar is often used topically to anoint candles, name papers, and other items in banishing spells, as well as spells to drive away danger, spells to save an individual from disaster, and any number of spells for protection. So I'm making it in a jar. Now, I'm going to be doing more with this, but, for your purposes of watching this, we're just making the Four Thieves vinegar. Okay, so first you want a jar. You want a jar. Here's my jar. It's clean, ready to go. I have a lid ready to go. I recycled. This was actually a honey, oddly enough, a honey jar. I had honey I get from Whole Foods, raw honey, and it came in this jar. So that's irony. Anyway, let's get into it. So I grow basil in my backyard, and this is fresh basil. If I had smell-o-vision, I wish, oh man, it smells so good. By the way, this crystal that I have off to the side, just because I like to, okay, when I do certain types of magic, I like to have certain types of crystals nearby, maybe a certain candle that's already been spelled as well for balancing energy. So this is just what I'm using to absorb negative energy because I'm dealing with a difficult situation. When I make this Four Thieves oil, it is very much for warding off difficult situations. So I want to keep this to keep my balance, to keep me balanced, me, the witch, the person making it. It's not for this, it's for me. So anyway, so I like to keep this just in the vicinity because this absorbs any residual negative energy that this will be overall used for protection. But when you're making things in the subject matter I'm talking about, I don't want it to come back on me. It's, this absorbs it. This is, by the way, hematite, if you're curious, in raw form. Moving on, let's get to making it. So I have my apple cider vinegar, which I'll hold off. I'll pour that over top. I'm starting with this basil. I just took this out of my backyard. I didn't rinse it or anything like that because I didn't feel the need to. And I have some garlic, and I am adding ginger, also very protective qualities. I'm using various onion peels, red, white, yellow onion peel in here as well. And I'm adding some lavender. So now that I got overall the herbs, hopefully you recognize them, but you see what this is, let me get into this conversation. So I'm going to just be upfront with this conversation on narcissism. No, I think that in most cases spells will not work. And let me tell you why on a narcissist. Because there's a certain way of their thinking, their emotional being. Yeah, we're going to put a lot in there. That just honestly is something that the rest of us we don't think that way. We have compassion, most of us, and we have empathy. And a true narcissist is they really don't have empathy. It's fake. It's not real. So it's difficult. That was black pepper, if you didn't tell. This is chopped onion. So this is a little neat trick. Got this at Costco. When you want to do spells and things like that, well, onions you don't want to chop any actually up. Get this. Same thing. They're just dehydrated onion. I also like to cook with this too, but you get the point. Anyway, yeah, spells are probably not going to work. And, that's a hard pill for some people to swallow who think, oh, I could just do, oh, this the same. No, it's not. If you spent money talking to people, red pepper flakes also goes in my recipe as well. So here we go all together. This is everything in here. And then I'm just going to top it with the vinegar in a moment. But basically, the thing about narcissists is that you just have to realize they are not wired like everyone else and like anybody you might have ever done spell work on. So in most cases, your spells are not going to work on a narcissist. They will not, because again, their wiring is just totally different. So if you're trying to get a narcissist to be more sweet and you do a honey jar, probably won't work. I'm not even gonna say probably, it don't work. And even if it does, what you've done is basically just triggered the mask that a narcissist wears, and you're gonna get that. But as with anything, a narcissist cannot keep the mask going. They can't keep it going indefinitely. So the mask that I'm referring to, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, is when you truly, from experience I'm talking, when you truly have one in your life, they wear a mask. So that mask can last days for some, weeks, months, even a year or so. This is how you end up in a situation. You met a great person, male or female, although typically male, but you meet a great person. You think this is your partner. They seem to anticipate your every need. They're saying all the right things, and it appears to be real and genuine. They're telling everyone, they talk about you all the time to people, so it gets back to you. They're basically hitting all the right spots, right? And then, as if overnight, there's just this moment where it's just not like that anymore. And you spend time trying to figure out, how do I get that back? How do we get back? You're thinking you have a relationship problem. You're thinking it's about communication, or they're just unhappy, or there's something else going on. And, you know, for some people, throw in infidelity, throw in, you know, possibly other abusive manipulation behaviors. Now you're getting, you know, they're not masking anymore. You're getting all of it. And you might be thinking, well, that's their true self. Technically, a narcissist, really, you never know who they really are, because those are just reactions. Their true self, honestly, they don't even know who they are. They constantly adapt to their environment. If they're out with people who are really into sports, they're into sports. If they're out with people who are really into theater, they're into theater and art. If they're out with somebody who's this, they're that. Like, they just sort of bend and mold to whatever the situation is and whatever they're, you know, the attention they're getting out of it. So who they really are, you'll never know. So what I would tell you, as a practitioner of magic for over a decade, and someone who has dealt with narcissistic behavior from individuals throughout my years on this planet, male and female, don't waste your time. Protection work is where it's at. Don't waste your time trying to manipulate them. The only way to truly beat a narcissist is to be a narcissist. And if you don't have the stomach for that, then you just need to be done. You need to separate yourself from that, because that's truly the only way to beat them at their own game, which means you now have lowered any empathy. You know, you're very manipulative. This is a very target approach. It takes work. That's why they're always exhausted. That's why they can't keep this mask up, because it's exhausting to always be on whatever this thing you're supposed to be on, this persona, this character that they've created. So it's going to be very difficult. This is a deep psychological behavior disorder. Witchcraft is strong, power is strong, and you can put work on. You can put something on them. I'm not saying you can't. I would just caution you to not try to make them be who you think they were, because that was never who they were to begin with. So you're chasing your tail. It's not worth the work. It's not worth the energy that the spell work is going to bring to try to do that. Instead, protection work. Now I'll pour in my vinegar. And this vinegar has been sitting up in my pantry for a minute, so this is perfect for my spell. Yeah, you don't want to waste your time dealing with that foolishness. You instead, what you want to do, what you're going to need to do with it is protection work. And who are you protecting? You. You are protecting yourself. That's who you're protecting. Make sure that's good and tight. Give it a shake. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. A little violent shake. So the book says to make sure it sits for like 4 days. So if, that's on you to make it more potent, of course. But this is it. So obviously you can strain it when you're ready to use it. But this is your 4 thieves vinegar right here, by the way. So this is ready to go. And again, I have this off to the side, again, just to absorb the subject matter and what we're talking about. I'm going to make a label for my overall purposes once I'm done, because this is going to be used in some spell work and a ritual that I'm doing today. Or, yeah, when you see this, yeah, today. Anyway, but yeah, so protection work. So I'm going to just say this when I say protection work, protection against the narcissist. You're battling wills here. And these are people who are master manipulators. Master manipulators, you don't treat that lightly. Protection could be you doing a cloaking spell so that you're no longer on their radar, so to speak. Cloaking spells, glamour spells, so that you're not as recognizable to them anymore. So that the things that they, the energy that they needed to feed off of you, because they're very vampire-like, energy speaking. You want to do a masking spell so that a glamour spell so that they don't recognize that anymore. They don't see you as a source of that energy that they are needing, which is, by the way, usually way dysfunctional. So you don't want that. They don't give, they just take, and then criticize. It's tough when it's romantic. It's worse when it's a parental thing where you have a parent that's a narcissist. So this is all, encompassing. This is not just about in relationships. Growing up with a narcissistic mother can be tough. Obviously a father as well. But if the mom specifically is the primary, if you were in a single family household and it was the mom, that can really seek therapy. Trust me, you think you're okay. You're probably not. You have crazy triggers, and you got to be careful that she didn't make you susceptible to a narcissist in romantic relationships. Same obviously with the father as a parent as well. You have to be very careful because they could make you very open to attractive to a narcissist. You're primed. You know how to, you've already been in the victim role, and unfortunately, so you're primed, and they recognize that. So that took years for me to understand as well. And I'm somebody who has been in therapy also off and on throughout the years. So I'm, again, speaking from experience. So what you want to take away from this is protect your energy. If you are in a relationship, romantic relationship, you want to separate. You can't change this person. You need to get your exit plan, your strategy. If this is making sense to you right now and you're listening to this, and I haven't even gotten into a whole detail of true narcissism in a actual romantic relationship, that can take its toll on people. It really can. It could beat you down. If you're remotely aware of what I'm talking about and it's resonating with you, think of your exit plan to get out. Start formulating a plan. This is your sign. If you're looking for a sign, this video, this conversation is your sign. Okay? If you're having a friendship situation where childhood friend, whatever the deal is, family friend, somebody you talk to, the point is they're in your life, and you recognize, hey, they have narcissistic disorder, behavioral disorder. I see it, and I'm, and I can't deal with it anymore. It's exhausting with this person. Break away from that person. You have to protect your energy. They are not invested in balance, in keeping your energy. They don't think that way. I can't emphasize enough that they're just wired differently. If it's a parent situation, you're going to have to learn, again, protection, do your best. I'm not asking you or suggesting that you no longer, deal with your parent, but you got to keep them at arm's length. Those honestly could be the most manipulative situations you're in because they're going to pull rank as a parent on you. And that's tough, You're going to want to get help with that. You need people to help you. The thing about narcissists is, especially if it's a family situation, they will turn other people against you. No doubt. If you're somebody watching this and you've been called the black sheep, the problem child and all that, it's a strong possibility the person who was saying that, the person that started that, is probably the narcissist. And it's important that I like to call it rally. They like to rally. Actually, all of them do. They like to turn people against you. If you're in a relationship, they're very quick to badmouth you to anybody who'll listen. They lie, crazy lie. Like the lying is ridiculous that narcissists do. Again, you're just dealing with people who think in an alternate reality that is so fragile. Their ego, it's all very fragile. If you want to get revenge on the narcissist, well, that's a different conversation. My initial talk was about spells to fix them or to get them back or to sweeten them up. That is a waste of energy. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care how powerful you are, how powerful the person you hired is. That is going to be almost next to impossible to work on them. And if it is, it's a temporary situation. All you did was trigger the mask to be put back in place. And you're delusional if you think that's real and if you think that's going to be lasting. It is not worth it. I'm going to tell you to separate from that person, whatever that means. Guard yourself, guard your energy, protection. Invest time in making things like this. Invest times in having stones like this around. You want to pull in ancestor work, spirit work, powerful warrior goddesses, gods who will have your back. That's what you want to focus your energy on for protection around you. You want to make sure you're balanced. Be careful with too much of anything. Balance is key, especially this season. I know we all like to have a little bit, especially if you're dealing with a narcissist. You're going to want to escape, have a little drink, maybe smoke a little something, whatever your deal is, whatever your vice is. Let me explain something to you. That is okay within a certain level of balance, because if you leave yourself too vulnerable and you're actively dealing with these people, that's an end, and they will bring you down even lower, very low, and your vibration, everything is down. It's hard to practice magic when you're in that dark pit emotionally and mentally. And constant interaction with a narcissistic person makes you feel that way. So the last thing you want to do is help them by throwing yourself off. I'm not saying you can't have a little something here or there. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just balance. That's the key word, guys. And only you know what your balance is, Only you can figure that out for yourself. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that, for anyone who needed to hear this, you heard it. If you were wondering what you could do, if you were curious, listen, you don't need any proof from some doctor. Because getting a narcissist into a therapist's office is difficult, and if they are willing to go, because remember, they're master manipulators. If you make that a sort of a rule in order to progress forward in whatever the relationship is, they may agree. They will never tell the truth. They're master manipulators. You're never getting the full version of that person. I'm sorry, and a lot of us hear these terms, narcissist, and we throw them around a lot. Here's the thing, 9 times out of 10, if you're feeling lower than you've ever felt in your life with interactions with this person, and you suspect that they're a narcissist, I'm going to tell you, you're right. How about that? If nobody else is willing to tell you, I'm going to tell you you're right. And you need to act accordingly. Do not waste your time. Do not waste your energy trying to fix them, trying to think of a spell, trying to make it right. If you are on this energy of twin flame and all that sort of stuff, you're going to need to release that. There is no way, no way that your creator, that your spirit guides, your ancestors set you up to have to go through that and just live your life at such a low level, base level. You were not meant for that. None of us were meant for that. Okay. For those of you out there who believe you have some sort of a karmic debt, something from, another life that you have to repent or make payment on, and you think this is the suffering that's going to balance those scales, you a lie. You're lying to yourself. You are making excuses because you are still chasing after what you thought was. It never was real. The relationship, I'm sorry, it was never real. Everything was a lie. They lied to you, and now they got you lying to yourself. The work isn't gonna work. That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. This is Mika, Leap Taken. Please like, subscribe, share, and let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions. If you want me to expand on this, I'll do a whole other deeper video if need be. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.